Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Monday. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Morning Hookup. No, Hook. YZ, we're back. A little hiatus in more ways than one. We're going to leave that alone. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a great and safe and blessed holiday season. As sports has provided for us. There's a lot to get to today. We'll just go down the field with Husker Hoops coming up. NFL playoffs. Wow. Wacky Sunday. We got no more wacky than last night. You can watch that game and just watch the last 4 minutes and get all your NFL fix for the season in the last 4 minutes of that one. College football playoff. Boy, that has provided quite a bit. The portal, Husker football, quarterback. Yes, we will. We'll have one of those. We'll talk about that. Evan Bland will be up with us in the second hour, hour number 2. Special day for Evan. It's Evan's birthday.
Oh, wow. Perfect timing.
How about a birthday show for Evan Bland?
Okay.
All right. Perfect and then stories timing. That we missed. How are you fellas? How was that? Holidays? Ring in the new year?
It was good. It was good. We're back.
Yeah. Feels weird to be back.
It was a heck of a week while you were away, Hooksy. I'll tell you what, around here.
I stayed up in the loop with the emails. And whatever went down and went on, whoever was a part of it, God bless you all. Whatever work you had to put in the hours, God bless you all.
To all the engineers.
To everybody out there that was just had their hands on it, whether it be on the national level, on the local level, everyone that was.
People that weren't even supposed to be at work.
They were supposed to be at work.
And they came back in to get things handled.
Everyone that had to sacrifice their time and effort to get this beautiful stations, all the stations back up. Hats off to you. And hopefully now, I know you're not quite there yet, but you get a little relaxation, maybe a little sleep. But those situations are tough, and a lot of times they're thankless. Mm-hmm. So if anybody in the building's around, thank you, because you forget at times what it takes to get these mics turned on and the music to get played at all 6 stations here in this building.
Well said.
And I wasn't here, so I felt the pain from being gone. Like, again, but the other thing that made me being gone, I'm like you, what you just said, I was jonesing last night. Mm-hmm. I think I sent you guys a text. What time did I send? I'm like, I was jonesing like the whole week. There was a void.
Well, there was definitely that feeling to me because I was coming in here. Well, we didn't have afternoon shows up until Friday. We didn't have morning shows. I was doing news and stuff. And by the time like 3 p.m. rolled around, I was like, what am I supposed to do with myself?
I know.
I am bored.
I was gone. We got through the
I guess I'll throw on a movie and then I get bored in a movie and I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do with myself. This is insane.
I got through the holidays, right? You know, I knew we had the little break of the holidays, but then I was gone and I would like wake up like super early. And I'm like, I'd come out of the gate quick, get my coffee, hang out. Well, then I'm like, now what?
Now what? That was definitely the feeling.
Like my ears were like, they were missing something. They were missing these red things on them, talking sport. For me, anytime something would happen, I usually take notes on my phone or somewhere. I'm like, oh, we got to talk about that tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I got nobody to talk to about it with. I found myself over the time in the bowl season watching a lot of bowl games in this exciting play or some news. I'm like, well, here I am. No, I got to talk to because everybody else is off doing something else. So, but we're back and I'm happy to be back.
It's good to be back. And you talked about the fact that really while we were away, people around here, there was no rest for the weary. Same story with Husker basketball.
My goodness, I got to tell you what.
So, big win on Friday, and you got to turn around and hit the road on a Monday. Oof.
Big win on Friday night. Let's just go there, boy. 14-0. They get it done. For me, by the way, I got back in. I landed in Lincoln about 4:59. The turnaround had me downtown at 6 o'clock. Mm-hmm. in bed about 1 a.m. from a long delayed travel day, which most times nowadays that's what happens. But got downtown and was able to enjoy the game in a lot of different ways. Where do you start with this game? That game Friday night.
The crowd, my goodness.
That is a good place to start.
How about that?
Mm.
How about the electricity, not just inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, but the electricity throughout downtown? The establishments that were getting jacked up, the promise in everyone's voice that you talk to in downtown, wherever you were. They're like, this is the expectation conversation now. Not, oh, I don't know about tonight. Like they were like, yo, this is our time. Then you get in there and that crowd, people have asked me, that's number 2. Okay. That crowd ranks number 2.
Behind no
It was so close. It was so close because I can tell you when I being there at No Sit Sunday and comparing it, I stood like, again, this turned into like all of a sudden a lot of standing on Friday night.
Mm.
I would say 80 to 85% of the time I was up, like most of the crowd was. But boy, the noise, the energy, that's a crowd. If you guys have been watching sports or going to sporting events, that's the type of crowd that is call it the 6-man, because there's 5. The 6-man all of a sudden propels teams to win games like that.
It's something I've talked about before, that the crowd that you get at Pinnacle Bank Arena, it's so unique in Husker sports. Volleyball, they get loud in there, but it's a respectful crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Husker football, I mean, it gets loud in there. There's not the blood in the water that you get with Pinnacle Bank Arena. PBA, Husker basketball fans, they get some blood in the water. That is a different type of Husker experience, different type of Husker venue. Whenever the basketball team is playing at home at Pinnacle Bank Arena with a big team coming in there, gets close at the end, the crowd in there is just different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something I recommended. My roommate, it was actually his, he'd been to Husker basketball games before at Pinnacle Bank Arena. He'd never been to a big one. He went to the Michigan State game, and you should have seen the smile on his face whenever he came home.
Oh,
it is just a different experience. That ferocity that you feel in there, it's just different. And it's so hard to describe.
It's that feeling that when you're there, every play mattered. That you're on the edge of your seat, every shot that went up, every whistle that blew, every substitution that was made. Like, you're just on the edge of your seat. There's no, like, you get to the point, I guess I can describe it as, at what time do you, like, it's like watching a movie. At what time's the right time to go to the bathroom? That type of game. Like, I know I had to go like right about the under. I left my seat with about 8.5 minutes so I can get back after the timeout. Right? You didn't want to leave your seats. And I'll shout out the crowd, by the way, also, because I've been critical of it before. There wasn't the under 12-minute defection, the under 8-minute defect. They were still there, but people were there, and they were there for this. Shout out also, by the way, because it is a unique timing because the students are mainly gone. Full seats. But the game itself did not disappoint.
Well, and let me also add, the folks that did sit in the former student seats, they brought it. Credit to them. You got to sit in those low seats by the floor. You got to sit right behind the basket. I saw a lot of dudes with 401ks that are middle-aged that were making some damn noise in the student section seats.
But the game itself, interesting. I'm going to tell you, I think this was rock. Yes. Like, I could sit here and give you the stats, and you're going to go, well, wow, how did that happen? This and that. I can go in the foul calls. But this one right here, this was guts. This was gritty. This is going back a few years. Nebraska is an elite defensive team.
Oh, yeah.
They're just elite. Because my concern coming into this game, or against anyone playing Nebraska, is the athleticism of the other team. Not saying we're not. I just saying I thought Michigan State was a pretty athletic team. Boy, that team is elite defensively. The number of times I lost count, the number of times that Michigan State's offense didn't get going until under 10 seconds in the shot clock. Mm-hmm. Just by the way, their switches, their rotations, they knew where the guys were on the floor. It was just amazing.
In any game, you create 17 turnovers. It's going to be a plus.
It was 19.
19 total. It was their, I missed the stat, but it was their most turnovers in like 20 years. Something like that. Michigan State is a very disciplined basketball team with Coach Izzo.
Well, it's the thing is you go into a game like that on Friday night, usually Michigan State is the defensive basketball team that you think of, the team that's got all the fundamentals in the defensive end. And hey, they brought it on the defensive end too. It's the reason why there were so many missed shots for Nebraska. It's the reason why Nebraska only hit 5 2-pointers. The fewest total of 2-pointers a Division I team has hit and gone on to win the game.
That's incredible.
In Division I history. 5 2-pointers, and you win. But the thing that you saw both with Michigan State's defense and Nebraska's defense, what makes it so special is how connected everyone is in that defense. The good defenses, they look like they're on a string.
Oh,
Whenever you bring that double team, here's those guys in the opposite end. They're shifting alongside. Like everyone moves in unison, and you see it every single defensive possession with Nebraska. How well those guys communicate, how well they play on that string. Whenever they double, there's no passing lanes open. It's just fundamental pure basketball. I don't want to say they don't screw up, but it feels like defensively there's a guy in the right place every single time.
absolutely. Yes, I agree. And again, let's be real. You beat a top 10 basketball team.
Mhm.
Michigan State is going to be one of those teams there towards the end of the season.
Mhm.
So if you're not convinced, stay convinced. Get there because this team is elite defensively. That is what's going to propel this team to continue.
Well, and let's also
At
note
some
here-
point, they're going to shoot the ball. Okay. At some point,
let's note,
the lid's coming off.
against a good Michigan State defense, if you go back and watch, Nebraska generated a lot more good looks than Michigan State did.
Absolutely.
Now,
They were getting
Michigan
their
State
butt-
generated some looks, but Nebraska, I'd say 3/4 of their offensive possessions, they generated a good look. Were there some bad looks? Were there some guys that just had to put their head down, get to the rim, try to draw some contact, and it went poorly? Absolutely. That's going to happen in basketball. I'd say about 2/3, if not 3/4 of the time, Nebraska's offensive possessions ended with a good look. A look that you sit back, hey, maybe not wide open three,
Mhm.
but a look that you sit back and go, you know what? You take that. That's a good look.
You live with
You
it,
go
yeah.
back and look at the stats. You talk about the number of 2-pointers. We made 5. They made 7. There were 12 2-point shots made. 23 threes total in the game.
Welcome to the Big Ten, baby.
And again, you just get it done when you just get it done. It was one of those, almost like a heavyweight fight. Nebraska had a 9-point lead at one point. You get a technical foul. They make a bunch of free throws. Yeah, I know. He's getting a lot of flack for that, but he shouldn't. It's fine.
That's a whole nother discussion.
Don't
Yeah.
even. But again, they get it done. They get it done. I would hope at some point today when the rankings come out, they're going to be a top 10. Nebraska's going to be in the top 10.
Well, if you take away the logo next to the name, you put Nebraska's resume next to
Duke,
Purdue,
This is elite.
yeah,
Arizona,
they'd be top 5.
they'd be a top 5 team with just the resume. Now, Nebraska, there is the brand name that you have to overcome.
Yep.
There is the recent history you have to overcome. It's easier to believe in a team that's undefeated whenever they were also a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament last year.
Mhm.
Much easier to believe in. It's easier to believe in them whenever teams have won an NCAA tournament game. But purely on the resume, I don't believe Nebraska's going to be top 5. But purely on the resume, put a big logo next to their name. It's a top 5 team.
I agree with you because it's interesting to me as I'm looking at the Ken Palm right now. A lot of people look at Ken Palm. You might look at net. It is interesting. Right now, Nebraska 22.
Yeah, that's predictive.
It's very
That's what's interesting about KenPom is it's not predicting where a team is now. It's predicting how
Where
they're
they-
going to stack
yeah.
up by the end of the year. So it's looking at future results. I think KenPom has Nebraska losing its next 2 against Ohio State and Indiana, which
we're gonna get to that.
it's a tough stretch. It's a tough upcoming week after an emotional high. But do you sit back and think Nebraska's going to lose both of these games?
No,
That's the thing with the KenPom ranking is it's predictive to where it thinks Nebraska's going to end the year, not where they are now. So that's something to note with KenPom having
yes,
22.
yes. Tonight, 5:30, FS1 at Ohio State. Another challenge for Nebraska.
And 5:30 is a brutal time.
It's a brutal time.
And you mentioned coming off an emotional high and then going really quickly out on the road. It's just a tough spot for the team. I think Nebraska's a better team than Ohio State, but the spot is very tough.
When did Ohio State last play?
I think the same as Nebraska. They played Rutgers on the road.
Just to compare, by the way, you're 11 in the net.
Yeah, they played. They correct. They played. So it's also a short prep for Ohio State, which short prep against Nebraska is rough with the variety of offensive sets Nebraska's going to run.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get the exact opposite of what we got on Friday night. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think we're going to get the game where it's hard for Nebraska to bring that defensive intensity back-to-back games and this short of rest. But hey, Ohio State's got short prep to prep for that Nebraska offense. I'd say be ready for some points tonight.
I think I go back to this, and it's something that we've learned over the time. This is a very mentally tough Nebraska basketball team.
Yes, they are.
Okay, and I am even going back to Rank and Jamarcus is their post-game press conference about the storm in the court. You can tell where they're mentally set at. And if you watch the cinematic recaps in the locker room, what's next? That's a veteran-led team. The way they play defense is going to travel. Also, tonight you're going into this thing, by the way, you're the underdog again. Mm-hmm. You're going to be in the top 10 possibly, and they're going to tell you you're not good enough to be ranked. I mean, good enough to be a favorite on the road.
Well, that just speaks to how difficult it is to go on the road in the Big Ten. It's so hard to
go
on the road in the Big Ten. There's a lot of nasty environments out there. Columbus has been one where it feels like there's been an Ohio State player that goes off for 30 every single time you go out there.
This will be
I don't want to say House of Horrors, because House of Horrors isn't the right way to put it, but that is a tough place for Nebraska in recent history.
It's tough. And again, this will be a game of guards tonight. If you look at the two guards on the Ohio State's team, Bruce Thornton, everybody knows about Bruce Thornton, man. Senior all Big Ten type guard, averaging 21 right now.
And dare I say that's my candidate to go off for 30 against Nebraska tonight. Because it feels like, who was it a couple years ago? He went to the Spurs. I'm getting drafted by the Spurs.
Yeah.
Branham? Malachi
Branham?
Yep.
It was the Malachi Branham against was that McGowan's duel?
Yep.
Younger McGowan's, and Bryce McGowan's not for 30, but so did he. That was a crazy game.
You've got Thornton, by the way, almost shooting 60%, 45 from three. And also, let's not forget the sophomore guard and John Mobley Jr., who is really good. He's their biggest three-point threat. He shoots it at about 40% as well in this one. And then we have a local. You have Amari Bynum, which will be starting for this team tonight. So it's a tough one for Nebraska, tough spot, but I feel good about the way they play defense against a team like this. Nebraska's key, which they overcame the other night, and again, we could get into the ref situation, whatever. They've got to continue to defend without fouling and keeping guys on the floor. Because that was one that was iffy the other night against Michigan State. Obviously, we know Price. He's got a couple early, you can call them touchies if you want to, but it's gonna be a battle. And I agree with you. I could see some points tonight in this one. What is the over? I think we're 2.5-point dogs right now. I'm not sure the over under on this one. It's got to be in the 140s, 142, 143.
Give me a second.
That'd be my guess.
Feels about right.
530. The total set at 155.
Ooh,
wow.
Now they're telling you something.
Yeah.
They're telling you something. So, all right, 5:30 tonight. So get the dinner going early. All right, get the dinner going early on a Monday night. As, by the way, also shout out everybody back to school today. I'm looking over all the parents. Good luck. But
yeah, all the teachers out there, if you're listening to the show right now, get back to work. First off, you're raising America's youth. Do better. Just kidding. I
have a gripe right now. I don't want to air it out on the radio.
I have way too many teachers in my life. I live with one, and he spent his entire winter break playing video games. So
this one gets me.
If he's out there listening, he deserves a little bit of stick because he spent probably 15 hours a day on the couch playing video games. That's an exaggeration, but I love America's teachers.
I do too.
I am so glad my roommate Darren is back to work.
Can I tell you again?
It was so frustrating coming home every single day, and here he is, another 6 hours logged in his game. I'm like, oh, awesome.
Look what level I'm on. Yeah, my kids aren't back yet.
Oh.
Can I read what my calendar says? And I'm not dogging teachers. I could never do it. You guys are great. You're amazing. It's Monday, and mine says no school, faculty retreat / work day. Where have you been on a retreat? Just my opinion. Sorry. Good look. I won't say it again. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's look at NFL Week 18 and the playoff scenarios when we return. Faculty retreat today.
Good for them. I'm sure they don't want to go on that.
Faculty retreat. I love all the teachers. Probably listening to me now. Uh-oh. Hands off.
Man, oh man.
I know. You're scared to touch some buttons, aren't you?
Yeah.
What up, FledX 10? 140 Arlo. What's up? What up, Shane? Holy NFL.
There's got to be another way. I'm going to have to come in early, pre-record songs.
Probably right.
And then, yeah, because I can record it. I just can't download it. Whatever.
What's wild is coming back and the weather we're going to get the first yesterday through Thursday.
Man, it was beautiful yesterday.
Dude, I never thought in January I'd be wearing shorts.
You're in shorts.
I was in shorts and t-shirt yesterday doing an oil change on my truck. It was beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
It was incredible weather.
I know. I was gone and I got the random text from my golf group. Wednesday looks great. I booked us at playing Highlands. I'm like, what?
That'd be awesome.
All right. I'm in.
This is the time of year, wasn't it? They get a whole bunch of people out right now. Now, I'm not too familiar with golf course maintenance, but isn't that going to be more difficult to maintain once like March rolls around?
I don't know.
Because nothing grows back right now.
I don't know.
Schmitty and I played.
To me, I think they just see it's the revenue side.
There was one weekend. I think it would have been I think it was like last weekend of January last year where Schmitty and I got out and played, and it was nice to be out, but it was also just like this isn't the same what summer's going to be.
No. But I was looking at Wednesday. We played Wednesday. It's like 60, blowing 5 to 10. What?
Greens will still be hard.
Fine.
Fairways will be hard.
The most frustrating about playing winter golf, one is like it's so inconsistent, but then two is trying to get a tee in the ground. There it is. We have buddies that when we're playing, not at our home course, when we're playing, like they're older than I am. We have one guy that if he's in the group, he brings a leaf blower. So when you get to the greens, there's
you blow them off.
Looks like it's. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Again, happy Monday. Happy New Year. Hope it's off to a great start. Boy, I tell you what, get out and enjoy these 4 days if you can. If you're driving around, roll the windows down. I mean, it's beautiful, like in the 50s, because it looks like there could be a little system working its way through Thursday night, Friday, somewhere in there. So get out, enjoy it, blow the leaves off. Maybe if you're getting a chance to go hit the old public golf courses, go hit them if you can.
Something about this just doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like Mother Nature's got one up her sleeve for us.
Oh, we're going to get slapped in the face.
Because it's January. It's beautiful. It's going to be like 60 degrees. It just feels like I'm waiting for the next one to drop. Of like,
well, they're just...
I should be going outside, and every time I get into my vehicle, I should be wanting to scream a little bit. And I'm not.
Yeah. Mother Nature is giving you a window saying, hey, I'm going to give you 4 days. Because there could be it looks bleaker coming up on the weekend and things like that. But it's telling you, hey, if you get a chance, you might want to get out in your garage, clean it a little bit. You might want to
give yourself an oil change.
Yep,
That's what I did yesterday.
Change.
It was a beautiful time to do it.
Maybe tune up the snowblower if you need to, just to get it ready. Because that way, at least you can do it when it's a little warmer. You know, if you got patio cushions, get the cushions put away. Maybe get the car washed one more time. Just get it right. They're giving you the window.
I'll be tuning up the shovel in my garage.
Yeah. See? Some windows
running right.
have closed. NFL regular season has closed, and boy, it did not disappoint. So I went in that thing going, man, it's kind of a bleak looking on the NFL slate when you look at most of the games. But the games that got played were amazing. Yeah. The ones that meant something all turned out amazing. Amazing. And poor Robin Washington, we can talk to him tomorrow. His text yesterday to our group was, the Giants are the best team in the NFL of ruining their future. And they did it a little bit yesterday by a thrashing of a rival in their division, 34-17, because it looks like now they're going to be in that 7-8 pick somewhere in there. How about that? And now the Raiders get the number 1 pick in that one. But boy, I tell you what, games to look at. I mean, I guess we could just start Falcons. Boy, who knew the Falcons game was going to play so much havoc?
Well, you know what's crazy? The Falcons a month ago were eliminated from playoff contention. Yesterday, they finished tied. They lost, obviously, the tiebreaker, but they lost tied for the division lead in the NFC South after being eliminated from playoff contention a month ago.
They won like 5 straight down the stretch or something like that against actually 2 of the hotter teams. It was the Saints and the Falcons in that. But we'll go back. We'll start with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers get it done against the Panthers in a really ugly game. In an ugly game with the weather, all that had to do with it. They win 16-14, and then they both had to sit and wait. The Buccaneers being Saints fans, the Panthers being Falcons fans, and we all know it turns out Panthers at 8-9 through mathematical tiebreaker, they get in.
Someone predicted this.
We'll get there. Relax.
Well, I'm pulling it up, but
I've got the email. I didn't even open it yet because I'm scared. So you got done. So Buccaneers eliminated, and probably in that you start thinking, was that Levante David's last time on the football field? You've seen him walk off. You've seen the locker room speech that he gave. Have we seen Levante David? Maybe not for the last time, but maybe as a Buccaneer, maybe at the end of his run of that game. Boy, I'm kind of all over here a little bit. Who even knows? Last night's game. Let's just, my goodness.
Well, quickly. 1 seed in the NFC, Seahawks.
Yes.
Won that on Saturday night. 49ers looked pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah, you know what?
But I think that's more credit to the Seahawks than anything.
It is a lot
the
to the
49ers defense is not what they were during their Super Bowl runs the last couple of seasons.
You wonder how much of that is just like, boy, Kyle Shanahan and that crew has done a phenomenal job with, boy, just keeping the duct tape around that team, right? How much of that is they're just beat down? They're beat down. They're tired now. It's not conducive. But by the way, the Seahawks are legit.
Mm-hmm.
They're, if you're looking at contenders, you put them right at the top on the defensive end, on the offensive end. Arguably could be the best team in the NFL.
And one of the best home field advantages is they lock up the 1 seed going into the postseason. Huge to have to make the NFC go through Seattle. I mean, the 2 1 seeds.
The 2 1 seeds are, boy, you go through
in terms of home field advantages.
Yes.
It's 2 of the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the NFC being forced to go through Seattle, the 12th man they have up there, brutal for the NFC. Any team that has to go in there is going to have to earn it. You can say the same in the AFC. Going to Denver, mile high. Now, it's been not the mile high expect. Do you know every single Broncos game this season at home had temperatures at least above 60 degrees? There's not been a game in Denver yet this year, season, that did not have temperatures in the 60s. It's not going to be like that for the postseason. You're going to get some cold days with that cold, dry air in Denver. That is brutal to play in. You're at altitude, so you're losing breath fast. And then that Broncos home crowd as well. It is just the home field advantages on each side actually mean something this year.
Oh, it's impeccable for sure. When you look at the crowds, the environments with those, look down at that. Boy, last night, oh my gosh. There's so much pain and agony and jubilation. That was a back and forth heavyweight fight. Aaron Rodgers, maybe his best game of the season last night. There's like 294. Keep taking the punches from the Ravens. That last possession was a slip. He catches the pass, done. You have a shanked extra point. And then the Ravens get it. Good return. Boy, what a phenomenal snag by Likely. My goodness.
Fourth down. Get
that snag. And then the Rook. Didn't hit it. Missed it wide right. Steelers win the division.
First off, let me say this, because I have 2 main takes here.
Mm-hmm.
One, we should have seen this coming. Some of us sitting in this room did see this coming. The Steelers always find a way to sneak into the postseason by the skin of their teeth before they get blown out in the wild card round. It's been a Mike Tomlin tradition like no other. I was texting with my buddy Jacob yesterday, big Steelers fan. I'm going to read this text word for word because it's hilarious. He says, when it comes to saving his job, Mike Tomlin is better than Prime Belichick.
He's up there.
To flip it around on the Ravens side of things, brutal way for your season to end back-to-back years. I couldn't imagine being a Ravens fan right now. The divisional round last year,
Mark Andrews
dropping it
Yeah,
against the Bills. that's how you lose that game. And then this year, it's the rookie kicker. After you've been the most steady kicking team in the NFL with Justin Tucker over the course of
second miss of the year, maybe.
Of course, like 15 seasons, you've had Justin Tucker. Tyler Loop's coming in. He's been solid as a rookie. And then the big time moment, week 18.
Yep.
A chance to send you to the postseason. He misses. Oh, man.
Yeah.
One would also say about the Ravens, though, a ton of injuries. They had more opportunities than just last night. They should have.
Very true.
Again, just brutal the way it ended. Now, the playoff bracket for us to look at real quick, and then we'll look at our predictions because I did see an email. Like you did it perfectly. It just popped in the email right away, like 8 a.m. this morning. Again, you got the 1 seeds on each side, Denver and Seattle. Boy, some really good-looking matchups.
Oh, the next
Look
weekend
at the AFC.
slate. Oh.
AFC, Houston, they got to head to Pittsburgh. Houston, I believe, is at like a 2.5, 3-point favorite in that one right now.
And that's Monday night, I think.
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
Monday night, 8 o'clock on that side. But if you're Pittsburgh, you're at home. Houston headed there. Great defense. I think that'll be a heavyweight fight when you look at it. I think maybe the best best game it could be on paper on the other side. How about Buffalo, Jacksonville? Buffalo's got to head to Jacksonville 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Jacksonville's playing really well recently. That offense, Liam Cohen got him going.
Then that other one.
There's like 4 different games that are candidates for being game of the weekend. Because I look at Packers-Bears Saturday night in prime time. Bears 1.5 point home favorites, but these teams split the regular season. Packers won at home. Bears won at home. Now the Packers get a redemption chance at Soldier Field.
San Fran got to go to Philly.
That's a great game. Chargers-Patriots Sunday Night Football.
If you're looking, let's look at both sides here. You can start predicting this. What you're looking, I would say, I think it's going to run through Seattle in the NFC when you look at those matchups. Carolina, Rams. We know that Carolina beat them earlier in the year. I think that's a Rams game. I think you're going to see Seattle and LA play each other, and I think that might be your representative. That game will be your representative in the Super Bowl that I will look at. If you're Buffalo, is this your opportunity? If I'm Josh Allen, I'm looking at that side going, look who's not there. And I'm not saying they're going to win it. I know both of you guys have opinions, whether it be the Broncos and the Patriots. Mm-hmm. But if you're the Buffalo Bills and you're Josh Allen, go, who do you not see that I have to go against?
Patrick Mahomes.
And there's other guys missing this playoffs this year. If you look at the who's who of the AFC.
What is tough for Buffalo, though, is they're going to be on the road every single game they play this postseason run, which is tough because not only is that stadium, from a weather point of view, tough to go out and play in, and a fan base point of view, it also was the last season with that stadium. Mm-hmm. And just imagine a fan base at home in the postseason knowing, hey, this might be the last game we ever get at this stadium.
Well, it was that way yesterday with a lot of fans that did not want to leave there.
It's a little tough. They have to go on the road. That makes their battle difficult, but I mean, their path, they have the Jaguars to start off on the road, which that should be a fun game filled with fireworks. That's a great way to kick off the wild card Sunday. And then you go on the road to play the winner of the Chargers and the Patriots. Correct if I'm wrong. Even if the Chargers win, the Bills would still go on the road, I believe. Correct?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let me see. No.
Would the
Bills are the 6th seed.
Bills are 6. Chargers are 7.
7.
Oh, okay.
So they would get one more. They'd have to go to Buffalo.
If the Chargers beat the Patriots and the Bills win, then the Bills would get a home game.
Yeah, okay.
So
it's the only way, but I would not see that happening.
We'll see.
That would take a lot.
So, but again, we'll be talking about this throughout. There are a lot of games. They start on Saturday, by the way, not Sunday. Saturday, you get they give you a little teaser. They give you the Rams at Carolina at 4:30 on Saturday. And then, like you said, there's a full slate, 1 o'clock, Buffalo and Jacksonville. Then you can jump over to watch San Francisco and Philadelphia. And then the nightcap is the the Chargers and the Patriots. And they'll cap you off. Boy, that's so good. Houston, Pittsburgh. It's going to be really good.
That's is that a go post up at the sports bar all day on Sunday type of day?
Yep. I wonder if I can get away with that. All right, here we go. Look at these predictions that came across.
We did all right. We didn't do great.
All right. We didn't do great.
Hold on, I completely forgot about this.
You have yours? We did yours, didn't we?
I hope so.
If it's not, it might be lost in there.
Or do you guys just do college football playoff? Or you guys do NFL too? I don't know. Well, we can start things off here.
AFC.
Hooksy, you and I both screwed up the East.
Yeah,
We both had the Bills as the divisional champions, and neither of us had the Patriots making the postseason.
I really screwed up the North.
We go to the AFC North, where Hooksy had the Bengals winning it.
Well, airball.
But you did have both the Steelers and the Ravens in a wild card, so you at least got the Steelers right.
Okay, all right.
I had.
By the way, also with the Bengals, just locally, they are no coaching change in Cincinnati being called right now. Zach Taylor back.
I'm surprised to see that. I'll be honest with you. I had the Ravens winning the North, but then I also had the Bengals and the Steelers making it as wild cards. Yeah. So I got the Steelers in at least. In the South,
man, I was close.
We both had the Texans.
Yeah, we're a game off. That's all right. Duval.
And then in the West, we somehow both had the Broncos, but we both had the Chiefs as a wild card team.
Yeah, that didn't. Well, you know what? Not bad.
So we did all right for us.
All right, let's look at the other side.
NFC in the East, we both correctly predicted the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
Easy enough. In the North, we both predicted the Packers, so we both missed that one.
Justice, that's your fault.
And I believe neither of us had the Bears. No, neither of us had the Bears even making the postseason.
Nope. Oh boy, look at the MVP. Sorry, I looked further down bad.
In the South, Hooksy, you had the Buccaneers.
Close.
I had the Panthers.
My goodness, that is what?
How about that? And then in the West, we both had the LA Rams. So we both missed on that one. As for the wild cards in the NFC, Hooksy, you had
one of them.
Commanders, Lions, Rams. Oh, sorry, you had. Excuse me. You did not have the Rams in the West. You had the Cardinals.
I went on a limb.
You tried to let me get away with that one there.
Yeah, I did.
No, you had the Cardinals.
Yeah, my bad.
That's a heck of a prediction there. I had the Rams, and then my wild cards were the Commanders, Lions, and Seahawks.
Okay. You did better than me. I just felt you were better.
Your MVP, Hooksy? Joe Burrow.
Well, always got to get her, Joe.
My MVP, Lamar Jackson. So we both had MVPs that dealt with some injury issues.
Yep.
And neither of us thought the Patriots would be the Patriots this season because we did not take Drake May, who is going to be the MVP.
He did not.
That's a discussion too.
I don't think he's the. If you see the odds have flipped.
Well, Stafford was stat padding late in the fourth quarter yesterday.
Well, yeah, he was
to move his odds up.
But last I checked, Drake May was still minus 200 something.
I thought it was this morning. I read somewhere.
Oh no, the odds did flip this morning.
It is now Stafford.
Yeah.
I think Drake May deserves it.
It's now Stafford in that one.
Bo Nix is at plus 50,000 if you want to bet that.
If you want to lose $5.
I mean, if you just found like $5 in your couch, just throw it on there. See what happens. Also, just real quick before we take a break, we're going to come back and look at the college football playoff. It is, do you call it Black Monday? The firing situation that's starting to happen. Browns fire Kevin Stefanski. He's out at the Browns. Also, Raheem Morris out at Atlanta. Boy, that was interesting.
Atlanta also cans their GM.
Cans both of them.
Maybe more important.
That one was surprising. After
that
the
is
Falcons,
surprising.
They won their last 4 games. I know they didn't have the season they wanted, but he had some momentum going to the end of it.
I'm a little surprised. I'm not surprised they fired the GM. And if you're going to fire the GM, I think you might as well fire the coach to give your GM a fresh start. But their first round picks,
they've been awful.
They've been pretty bad. Let me pull up the last couple of years since he has been the GM of the Falcons. So you start things off. That would be
the one was just
Kyle Pitts he started in 2020. So AJ Terrell was a first round pick out of Clemson. All right. You wouldn't, he's been a starter for you, but not the star you'd hope.
Not great.
Kyle Pitts in 2021. He hasn't lived up. He's better this year, but still hasn't lived up to those high expectations he had being the number 4 overall pick. And then 2022, you took Drake London, who's been solid, but there's been better wide receivers coming out of the draft in the past couple of years than Drake London, even though he's been a fine pick. Bijan Robinson. Okay. You nailed that one. Got him at number 8. Are you able to re-sign him? We'll see. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. Fine pick. 2024, Michael Penix Jr.
Woo, that was the right after signing Kirk Cousins to that massive contract.
Yeah. This is the one that got him started down a deep, dark path. And Penix, because of injury, but also just average play.
Doesn't that feel like a lot like
been great?
Nico in Dallas with the Mavericks? Feels a lot like that.
And in 2025, you had 2 first-round picks, and you took Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr.
They'll start over in Atlanta.
The double whammy of Walker and James Pierce Jr.
that just nailing the.
Yeah, it's time for a new GM around there, and if the GM you want them to hire their new head coach, so be it. I thought it was harsh to fire Raheem Morris, but if the GM gets a fresh start, the GM gets a fresh start. I get it.
Also, something to watch out there again. Stefanski out in Cleveland. Sounds like he's now the clubhouse leader for the Giants right away. And also a lot of discussions around John Harbaugh and the Ravens. Where is that at? Where is the future of that? Has that run its course? If it has, he will be a sought-out head coach. Do not forget that. He will be land on his feet somewhere. So let's take a break. Oh, sorry, you go for it.
One last thing here. Maybe some retirements could be forthcoming.
Ooh.
The question last night was Aaron Rodgers. Well, we're going to at least see one more game with A-Rod.
He wasn't convinced about that last night in his little presser.
Yeah, I don't think you want to put that over the team right now.
Nope. It's a crazy question, but
I'd be surprised if Rodgers comes back for another season.
Yes.
Kelsey?
Boy, that sure feels like it, doesn't it?
It's about that time, I think.
It sure feels like it as the walks and the conversations and things like that. You had a couple that are going to walk off into it last night from Minnesota as well.
Mm-hmm. With Harrison Smith, one of the best safeties in the league during his time. I think it was 14 seasons.
Yep.
Unbelievable. I remember last year watching a Vikings game being like, oh, he's still playing? Yep. And he went another year. So he's likely riding off into the sunset. But one of the things with Kelsey, I think it was Gronk that said this, is it's really hard to go from being the best in the NFL to being one of the good ones in the NFL. That's a really hard, for those people that have that drive to go and be great and be the top 10. It's a really tough battle to have to fight within yourself to go from being a guy who is the best in the NFL to a guy who's just one of the good ones. So that's why I think Kelsey's done, because it wasn't like it was a bad season this year.
And
he still had his moments, but he's just a good tight end now as opposed to being the best.
It's interesting. And again, I don't think this has anything to do with where his wedding and all that is. I agree with you. It is tough to go on from primo target number one. And not everyone has it in their DNA to take a step back and help develop someone else to take your job.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is built like that, right? Not everyone's built like that's tough to do. So again, that good call on that.
Phillip Rivers also, I assume we'll never see him in an NFL field again.
No, but
it was fun. It was fun to have him out there.
It was fun. It was an old shout out, Myles Garrett, sack record. Are you on that?
Go one more time before we get there?
Yes,
Levante.
Yeah, that's. I think it's done.
The speech he gave to the team in the locker room after that game on Saturday.
He was kissing that. He was on the way out of Tampa.
I think, is rightfully time for him to ride off into the sunset as one of the best linebackers,
Hall of Fame career
of the era. One of the best linebackers in Tampa Bay history. And yes, Canton will be calling in somewhere between the next 5 to 8 years. Canton will be calling for one Levante David. He was fantastic. So
absolutely agree.
On that now. Sorry, Hooks.
No, you're good. I'm glad you did that.
Turn it back over to you for Myles Garrett.
Nope. Myles Garrett breaks single season sack record. And here we are drawing comparisons to Brett Favre taking a tank job with Joe. But Joe Burrow didn't want to get hit, man. He saw him coming.
They're 6 and 10.
Yeah, he's like, nah, bro. I'm already hurting.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting out of that, by the way.
Did you ever see the weird clip with Gastineau?
Yes, it's weird.
And Brett Favre,
that's weird.
Where he was like,
it's weird.
This meant something to me. Like, you took this from me. Hey, man. I think Strahan had far more dead to rights than Garrett had Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I have seen Joe Burrow escape a pocket like that time and time again. And yesterday he takes a little step up and he thinks he escapes. And I think he realizes, oh, it's Myles Garrett. Let's take the knee here. Let's be good to Myles. So good for Myles Garrett.
Good for Myles Garrett.
It got a little stressful in the last couple of weeks where he wasn't able to get a sack. The get off was ridiculous on that play. Takes a sack record. Good for him.
Are you also in the camp real quick? Are you as Strahan would say, and I'm still the sack leader because I did it in 16 games?
And I'm not one of those.
Game.
I'm not one of those people that believes there should be an asterisk in the rule book. But I think we should, as NFL fans, sit back and still remember Strahan's efforts because it was a 16-game season.
Absolutely.
But I don't think
the record's the record.
Yes. So there's some people out there. Oh, you should put an asterisk in the record book. No, you shouldn't.
Nope. The record's the record.
The record's the record. We don't talk about it with the 14-game NFL season way back in the day compared to the 16-game. I think we as football fans can sit back and say Michael Strahan, he has the 16-game record, but in the NFL record book, it's Myles Garrett. That's how I feel about it. But hey, Michael Strahan, you were incredible too.
You were too. You both. Yes can be the answer for everything. So, all right, let's take a break, come back, and we'll quick look at the college football playoff.
much to talk about today.
Huh?
There's so much to talk about.
There is.
Today.
I know it's. Could do this for 3 hours.
Texas Tech is just gonna destroy in the portal.
They're ramping up again.
They got that kid from San Diego State,
The edge rusher.
Trey White. Yeah.
I still think they're probably going to get Sorsby, but we'll see.
He
They
already
did.
signed.
committed.
Yep.
He committed
Okay.
last night.
I missed that.
Yep, he was last night.
And then another D tackle that we were in the mix for. He's
Washington to somewhere else, right? Was it the Washington kid?
he's going to Tech.
Yep.
Yep. They're just gonna clean up. They got way too much money.
There's a stat, John Rolstein. Ohio State is 9-2 against Nebraska and Columbus since joining the Big Ten. I cannot, I'm just fired up to watch Husker hoops tonight.
It's a fun change of pace. I'm used to hearing Nebraska on the road in the Big Ten being like, well, I'll hope for the best, expect
Well,
the worst.
Yeah. Surprise me. I'll cut it on the second half. I'll watch it on the app. You've done that? I'll just be an app watcher forever.
So by the time I'm leaving work, first half should be wrapping up. So we'll see.
We don't have much when we come back, do we? I can't see that far.
212.
All right. It's about how much the football playoff needs.
Yeah. We're a few days late on this, but we'll hit the
What
matches
is-
this week.
Yeah. Boy, you're getting some good ones this week. Too. Thursday, Friday, you're getting some good ones.
It's a good sports week, honestly.
Welcome back in the morning, Hookup. A couple minutes left hanging out in the fast-moving first hour.
You name that artist?
Nope.
This is right on the line for you.
You sing it.
You too.
Yeah.
This is
Sing
from Joshua Tree.
No clue.
Yeah, it is. It's the only.
Not it.
To me, this is the only YouTube album, the only YouTube album with him is
Yeah.
Joshua Tree. But what an album it is!
You made something a point about appreciation. It's a great sports week. Appreciate it because you are, by the way, roughly a month away from the Super Bowl. I think it's February 8th. So a little over a month away, and football will be taken away from you until the spring or whatever.
Listen to the week you got here. Monday night, Husker basketball. Tuesday, Wednesday, you got to find something to do.
well,
all right?
there's probably some top 20 hoops to watch.
Something like that. Then Thursday, college football playoff.
Fiesta Bowl Thursday night, 7:30. Ole Miss, Miami,
Friday, more college football.
Oregon, Indiana.
Great games.
From the
Saturday.
that's the Peach Bowl.
Saturday, college football. Or sorry, NFL.
NFL.
3:37.
Yep.
Sunday, all day. Monday, you got Monday Night Football. And high school basketball in the airwaves of KFOR as well. What a sports weekend.
I mean, there's a lot going on. But you get those matchups. Fiesta Bowl, Ole Miss makes their way via the what a crazy ending of the Ole Miss Georgia game. There. Miami just defensively shut down Ohio State. What can be said? We get the Big Ten matchup again, Oregon and Indiana. That's gonna be a fun one. Coming up after the break, Evan Bland with my word Herald, birthday boy Evan Bland. And we're going to talk quarterback, transfer portal, Nebraska, and a whole lot more when we return.
Your bathroom today with our great selection of Broen bath fans. Get a Chroma Comfort bath fan that has 24 color options with unlimited color themes and a built-in Bluetooth speaker. View our entire selection of Broen bath fans on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
A new year is the perfect time to make smarter financial moves. Liberty First Credit Union makes it easy with auto loans as low as 4.49% APR. You'll enjoy quick approvals, personal service, local decision-making, and no payments for 90 days. Start the year saving more and driving smarter. Apply today at libertyfirstcu.com or call 402-465-1000. APR based on creditworthiness and vehicle details. Offer valid on 2021 or newer models and is subject to change.
The Legacy Retirement Communities invite you to enjoy the independence, comfort, and peace of mind they offer in their own special way at all of their locations. Connect with others, enjoy fabulous food, educational programs, fitness centers, and more. The Legacy Communities are filled with movers and doers who embrace every stage of life, giving you the opportunity to live each day enriched and grateful. For a tour, call 402-436-3000 or visit legacyretirement.com.
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK. Terms apply.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop. Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health, we dare to care.
Which room in your home could use new flooring? Carpets Direct is your #1 source for all things floors, providing free in-home estimates, unparalleled service, and a 2-year guarantee. Your home should be your sanctuary, and Carpets Direct has you covered. From plush carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, laminate, and sheet vinyl flooring. Carpets Direct is the ultimate flooring destination. Call or visit today, South 48th Street, Lincoln.
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is expected in court in about an hour. He was transferred from a Brooklyn, New York jail cell to the federal courthouse in Manhattan alongside his wife. ABC's Aaron Katursky is outside the courthouse with more.
Prosecutors say Maduro and his allies partnered with violent drug traffickers in Colombia and Mexico to move tons of cocaine into the United States. The indictment says he used the profits to secure loyalty and stay in power. It's expected he will plead not guilty and be ordered held without bail, the first step in what's likely to be a long process that could end with what amounts to life in prison.
President Trump insists the U.S. is now running Venezuela. Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth says Arizona Senator Mark Kelly will likely face a demotion for taking part in a video urging U.S. troops to ignore orders that are illegal. Here's ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
It's an administrative action that's short of a court-martial. It will likely see Mark Kelly losing his rank as a retired Navy captain and would result in a reduction in his military pension. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the senator will have 30 days to submit a response and that, quote, further violations could result in further action. Kelly was among Democratic members of Congress, veterans of the armed forces and intelligence community who urged troops to ignore illegal orders in what Hegseth calls a reckless and seditious video.
The process of seating a jury in the trial of former Uvalde, Texas school police officers now underway.
Because of the extensive coverage of the case in Uvalde, Adrian Gonzalez's trial has been moved 200 miles away to Corpus Christi. During a trial that's expected to last about 2 weeks, a jury will be asked to decide whether Gonzalez's actions endangered the lives of 29 children, including 19 who were killed, along with 2 teachers.
ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announcing today he will not be seeking a third term. This is ABC News.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new...
We have local reaction to the U.S. capture of Venezuela's president. Good morning. I'm Jeff Moe. It's right now 40 degrees at KFOR. Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro is scheduled to make his first court appearance today in New York City after the United States captured him in a surprise attack early Saturday morning and flew him to New York. Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores are charged in the U.S. with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Reaction locally from Lincoln native and former Assistant Deputy U.S. Secretary of State Chris Backemeyer. He told KFOR News on Saturday that this action should have required approval from U.S. Congress.
Especially when it is an operation that is going to lead to a long-term military presence in the country and a long-term U.S. investment. But unfortunately, it seems like the current Congress has been asleep at the wheel and has not worried about requiring the administration to respect its constitutional authorities.
Backemeyer is also running for Congress this year in Nebraska's 1st District. Meanwhile, current 1st District Congressman Mike Flood issued a statement on Saturday regarding the capture of Maduro, saying, quote, thanks to American leadership, Maduro's reign of terror has come to an end. President Trump and his team used brilliant strategic force to capture Maduro alive so that the tyrant will face prosecution for his crimes in a court of law, end quote. LFR officials are still investigating what caused a fire inside a basement of a Northeast Lincoln home Sunday afternoon. The fire happened at a home block south and east of 60th and Holdridge. People in... No word yet on damage amounts. Going on through January 19th, this Christmas tree disposal site for open across Lincoln at 6 different locations. Those trees, by the way, have to be real.
We want to make sure you are getting all that cleaned up and ready for the year, so we don't have any issues with it.
That's Lincoln Fire and Rescue Public Information Officer MJ Lehrman. More details are up at KFORnow.com. Lincoln's first forecast today is staying mostly cloudy. We'll see a high around 56 with a calm breeze this afternoon. Right now, 40 in Lincoln. I'm Jeff Motes, KFOR News.
Ah, Cornelius, it's the holidays and Lincoln is positively abuzz about Jet Splash once again.
Have they started washing sleighs, Reginald?
Not quite, but they are offering sleigh loads of savings on car wash bundles and memberships. It's their jaw-dropping holiday sale.
Wow.
Annual plans are up to $100 off, making it the perfect time to upgrade. And Jet Splash's 9th location off 27th and Vine is now open.
Does it wash sleighs?
Shop local or online at jetsplash.com.
Well, does it?
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit lifelock.com and save up to 40%.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Hookup. Happy Monday. Happy New Year. I don't know if I'm going backwards. Turn the page. New year, new you. Yeah. New year, new me. Still same habits. Those haven't changed. It's only been a couple into the new year. Well, what season did start while we were gone? January 2nd. Portal season came, went, the anticipation of your favorite player or your favorite team and what they're going to do through the portal, how crazy it's going to be. And I think you said there's what was the percentage of players that are in right now?
It's like almost 30% of college football,
over 4,000 total players,
are into the transfer portal. And what sucks, and I don't think enough people realize this, is that there are not 4,000 landing spots in college football. There might be 4,000 players in the portal, but there's going to be a lot of players that this is either the end of their career, it's their end of the D1 career, and they're going to be down playing a lower level of football, whether they want to or not. But there's going to be a good chunk of players that their career ended when they entered their name in the portal and they don't know it.
Or the question being is what level? What level? You might have to take that step back.
Well, and I'm not sure if you guys were watching the Division III National Championship game over the weekend. I'd be surprised if you were. You'd be a real sicko. The starting quarterback of one of those teams, he was a walk-on at Oklahoma State. And after his first year at Oklahoma State, he sat there and said, you know what, the D1 life's not for me. Being a D1 walk-on's not for me. I understand I'm not going to play. I'm going to take my lumps for 4 or 5 years, and then I'm going to get my degree, and I'm going to do something else. And after his first year, he said, that's not for me. He Googled top Division III college football programs. And the number one choice, he emailed their coaches and said, hey, I'm a walk-on at Oklahoma State. I'm looking for an experience or an opportunity at a different level of football. You guys have a spot for me. A month later, he's in their facility, wins their starting quarterback job, and now was it last night or 2 nights ago, playing for a national championship.
It's a good one.
So there is success stories to guys moving down. It's not all bad to move down in college football and find a level that's more right for you, but there's a lot of guys going to be moving down against their own will.
Now, Nebraska coming off a, shall we say, as predicted bowl performance. As predicted.
Do we even need to talk about it?
Not to downplay it, not to say blah, 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 but it is what it was. Well, there's a lot of things you can get into with it, but it's over. It's done. The portal window opens up. I mentioned earlier during the break about, I think we have 18 kids that have jumped into the portal. There's a lack of star power, or I don't know if that's even the right word to use in those names. Obviously, Dylan Raiola has jumped in. Malcolm Hartog, he jumped in. Keona Davis, the newest to jump in. He might be, minus Dylan, the most impactful. Maybe the surprise you're looking at. But then Nebraska is set out to try to rebuild this thing, get bigger in the trenches. Quarterback is the number one I think they looked at, and you got one.
It's huge, the timing of when they got him.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
Tell us about him, Hooksy.
Yep. So you've got Minchie, right?
Yes.
I like that name. I don't know why Minchie. When you look at this was a, 60, he's about 6'2", a little over 200 pounds. He was in a dead heat race out there. A lot of people at Notre Dame will tell you that he was probably the better quarterback of the two of him and C.J. Carr, but maybe a better fit with C.J. Carr at Notre Dame. He'll come to Nebraska and try to compete for that job. Here's where your mobility is going to come into play. That is the number one key I think you had to look at. We saw some of that in the bowl game with TJ. I think what you're getting out of Mitchie is a good arm. You're getting mobility, which I think should tap right into the playbook and the plays called by Dana Holgorsen.
And in terms of mobility, don't sit there and think Lamar Jackson, even Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. It's not
dual
that.
threat. Yeah.
There is the threat of the legs, but it's not because he's a burner. It's not because he's a super athlete. Hey, he's got good mobility. He's got really good pocket presence. He's got an incredible ability to throw on the run. That's what stands out the most about his film is the way he gets outside of the pocket and delivers darts. His accuracy, really good. I mean, kind of compare him to TJ Lateef. I think Lateef's a little bit faster. They're cut from the same mold, though. Minchie, better accuracy. Lateef, probably better zip and a better deep ball. Minchie, I think, better pocket awareness. They each have their pros and cons. It's going to be an interesting battle to see. I think the favorite as of now, in my eyes, would probably be Minchie. But we'll see how an offseason development looks for TJ Lateef. But they're quarterbacks that they have their own way they play the game, but they're cut from the same cloth.
And I think Nebraska fans, let's not get to that point. I think TJ Lateef could be really good. But I think the injury to Dylan stunt that process, having to play and play quickly with what was going on. Dylan doesn't get hurt. You're likely looking at some type of redshirt for TJ Lateef. Hasn't had a chance. He got thrown into it. We saw some really good flashes of TJ at UCLA about what could happen on a really nice developmental offseason for him. So I don't want to sit here and we've got a new starting quarterback. Now, I think the meter is tilted probably towards Minchie right now. When you look at it from, I think, just school he was at, what he brings to the table, being in a lockdown competition in that, because Lateef hasn't been locked in a competition yet either. We all knew who the quarterback was for the last 2 years with Dylan Raiola.
And also, I don't think they're done adding at the quarterback spot.
Nope.
There's one more I think they got to bring in. Now, I think it might be more of the lower level guy looking for an opportunity, your Chambliss type, your Pavia type. I mean, Chambliss wasn't even the starter to kick off Ole Miss this season.
Nope.
People forget about that because he was a lower level guy, lost out the competition early. I think got in. Was it due to poor play or due to injury? I can't remember. But never.
Simmons got injured.
Yes, yeah. So never quite looked back after he took the reins of that job. But that's the kind of guy I'm talking about where, hey, lower level guy looking for his opportunity, looking to come in and compete. I think they'll bring in one more quarterback. Yeah. But the big positive that you already have Minchie in the fold is it gives you so much more time and resources to go out and fix all the other problems with your roster. No. You took care of this one quickly. You're not finding yourself scrambling. There's teams out there in college football that they went after some transfer portal targets at quarterback, missed out, and now they're scrambling. You're not scrambling. You got a guy in the fold. Now you can spend the next week and a half, a little over a week and a half, focused on every other part of your roster. If you miss out on quarterback, it's slim pickings behind your top choices.
Yep.
There's tons of choices at other spots in the portal. You just have to get your evaluations right. Now you can spend all of your time evaluating the other positions, taking some swings, and if you miss, going to some backup options.
So they get the quarterback. We get that put to bed. Now I think their focus should be, it's got to be in the trenches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get there? Again, there are schools that are landing kids right now, and it's Texas Tech. They're getting them all right now when you look at that. But I know there's some defensive play. Again, I think watching this will be one of the first times you're going to see your San Diego State guy, Ulrich come in and bring players with him. And that's something to really watch coming from a pretty stout defense that he was running. You like seeing that. Again, you wonder if that's the approach is to talk to those kids, get them to come with you, get a base of what you're trying to run with a foundation before you start switching things up.
And the name to look at from San Diego State, you already missed out. Trey White, we mentioned this, going to Texas Tech. He was probably the best player on that defense. Yep. It was going to be a who's who for him. Owen Chambliss, no relation to Trinidad.
None.
Off-ball linebacker. It's a big position need for Nebraska. He was in town this weekend. Looks like things are trending in the right direction for Nebraska on that recruitment.
Yep.
That would be kind of a leader of the defense, likely green dot guy that is taking the communication from the coaches next season, a real leader in the middle of the defense.
109 tackles, by the way, 10 for loss, 4 sacks, a pick, and 5 pass defended.
He steps in immediately and be one of the better players on your defense. That would be a huge pickup. Nebraska, that's probably their top target defensively right now, is just a leader, a green dot, a guy that can set the defense, a guy that can go make plays across the middle of the field. That's the addition to look at right now defensively. That's probably their top choice overall defensively for who they want right now. But I do think it's interesting the timing of Keona Davis going into the portal.
Yep.
I think it's interesting that he didn't go in on Friday. I think it's interesting that he went in on Sunday. Now, there's two sides to that. One, you're probably putting some feelers out there. But two, what are those conversations like with the new defensive coaching staff coming to Nebraska about what your role is going to be? I think it's interesting that it was 2 days after the portal opened where he officially entered his name. What guys are Nebraska looking at? What style of defensive lineman do they want?
It's going to be interesting, I think. But I think going into this portal, the way the portal is designed, with it being we got 10 days left of this. We got 10 days.
And that's
I think there's a lot more stress on the coaches and the GMs at this level, with it being the 2 week. That's what you got. Are the hard conversations. One about your budget. Let's just call it what it is. The money you got, right? The P&L. And then for Nebraska, you got a lot of new guys. You got a new DC walking in. You got a new line coach walking in. We don't have a D-line coach yet walking in quite yet, but I know there's something brewing out there with that. It's the conversation of fit, and you're looking at the portal, trying to fit the portal kid into your system. There's a lot of shit because, and I think for Nebraska, it is a major, this might be, I know we've said this probably quite a bit, but this is the offseason that you have to land.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you got the dollars. You have to be perfect almost.
And honestly, how I look at this portal season, a lot of people have compared it to NFL free agency, which, okay, maybe 30-something% of the NFL is not a free agent every single year.
Nope.
Honestly, in college football, it almost feels a little bit like a draft, with the fact that the top players are flying off the board right now. You understand as a team going in, you make your big board. You understand we're not going to get all the top guys on our board. It's more like those, same in the NFL. It's not the first round picks that make or break your team. It's rounds 4 through 7 where you can really build something special if you nail your 4 through 7 round picks. Are you going to nail every single pick in rounds 4 through 7? No. But if you look at it from a college football point of view, you're going to swing and you're going to miss on some guys early in the portal. There's 10 more days for a reason. You go into some backup options, some backup options. It's almost like rounds, as you get later in the portal period, rounds 4 through 7 of the draft, where it's, all right, other teams have passed on this guy. Why have they passed on him? Okay, not a fit for their system. He's a fit for our system. We like what we see. We think maybe with an offseason development, we can build him into something special, or 2 off seasons or whatever it may be. That's honestly kind of how I look at the late portal period, where it's you have to do good, deep scouting work. You have to find some gems, some diamonds in the rough that other teams don't want to have on their roster or willing to pass on. You have to go nail those sides of things. That's why I think it's important. Hey, seems like an NFL team getting the quarterback off the board in the first round. All right, got that taken care of. Now we go look through our other options deeper in the draft, where there is more parity in terms of the difference between the number 1 guy on the board and the 50 guy on the board is different than at defensive line than it is at quarterback.
Hooks, you mentioned Orich bringing players from San Diego State too. I think we see a lot of Jeep Wade bringing some offensive linemen from Georgia Tech as well.
Yep, I can see that. And I think going back to those two type of conversations, whether it be Jeep Wade bringing some guys with him or bringing some guys with him, is the relationship based. I think that is going to go untalked about a lot. That's not even a word, but unheard of when we're talking about these, is the conversations and having allies in the business. You and I talked about it a little bit off the air a little bit, was that you would want to assume that again, we had a Notre Dame transfer in this past year. We had Rocco Spiller sitting there with us, and he'll talk great about Nebraska. There could have been, who knows, conversation, relationship, Rule, Marcus Freeman, whatever. Hey, we're sticking with this guy. This guy needs not. There's relationships, I think, that it can go unnoticed in this business that can funnel kids your way when you take care of them, or whatever the case is.
Or even coaches, take care of some coaches. Hey, we have this guy on our roster. He's not a fit for us. We think he's going to be great for you. He does go play great for you. And then 2 years down the road, oh, hey, you have a player that you developed really nicely. He needs a bigger opportunity.
Yep.
Remember what we did a couple of years ago whenever we sent you that one linebacker that wasn't a fit for us, but we thought it'd be good for you? Hey, well, we think this kid's going to be a pretty good fit for us. Do you mind putting in a good word?
That'll never get old. The relationship base.
Well, that's life. That's not just sports.
Yes,
that's life.
That's business.
That's business. That's life. Because I think some of that, by the way, you're going to watch kids in the portal that you think should have already committed or landed that aren't going to land where they think they should land. And it's probably not based on talent and talent alone. It's all the other noise behind them that could land them nowhere or way less than they thought they were going to be.
Look at Nico last offseason.
Yep. Oh, that's prime example.
It wasn't Nico's talent. That wasn't why he landed at UCLA. It was because of the soap opera of him leaving Tennessee and the timing of which he left Tennessee that he was forced to land at UCLA.
Well said there. So, all right, let's take a break. We're going to keep this conversation going, and we're going to go up north to bring our guy, Evan Bland from the Omaha World Herald. The Raiders, see that? See you, Pete.
Oh, that was kind of expected.
One and done.
That is so annoying. The cursor over here sometimes gets really small and you can't see it.
Welcome to my life when I look out and see anything. Oh my God, what is going on here? It's amazing. I wonder if she didn't wake up. We had our fantasy football. I was out, but like I've told you guys, our fantasy football is legit regular season and then legit playoffs. The way it runs. You go 18. Now I'm out of it, but this is a crazy. We had two teams that were like there was two guys playing each other, vying for that last like spot. You go 18 weeks, right? And the one guy gets in over the other guy by 1.5 yards into the playoffs. 1.18 games. It came down to 1.5 yards.
Yeah. Happened to me. I missed playoffs by half a point.
No. Oh my gosh.
Tiebreaker. Won 8 games in a row, I think. Yeah. Incredible.
That's brutal. See, I got smoked in the first round of the playoffs, so I was just happy to be there.
I didn't even know.
I didn't have to get an L tattoo, so that's always a win.
Bingo. Isn't that nice when you're not like I think if you don't make the playoffs, we're all losers anyway, but don't be the biggest loser.
Yeah, well, and
that's the punishment loser.
My thing was, it was a stress-free end of the season because I knew I wasn't going to. And
done.
Trade deadline came and passed, and I went, okay, I'm in a good spot, not in a great spot. I know my team's not as talented as a lot of teams out there.
We're good. This. Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. Happy New Year. Let's bring in our guy from Ohio World Herald, Evan Bland. Evan, happy Monday. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. How's it going?
Good. Also, by the way, I know it's a special day. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's the big 4-0 for me today, believe it or not. It's the beginning of the end. That's all I've been told.
Welcome to the club.
Hey, if this season is positive, Evan, we still got a couple seasons of good NFL quarterback play left in you.
Yeah, that's right. They can bring me off the couch and let me talk some trash from the sideline. I can do that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Well, you could talk trash as well. Your Broncos are the #1 AFC, the seed. What about that?
Man, what a jump this year. I mean, like a year ago when they were just getting into the playoffs and kind of felt like they were ahead of schedule. Now here they are with #1 and really cool. That defense is fun to watch all the time. And I wonder about the offense, man. It's not going to be easy in the playoffs, but you can't argue with the bye and just the pressure they get on the defense all the time and having every game at mile high. Don't hate it. So it's been a heck of a year. We'll see how far they can go.
Again, we're speaking to Evan Bland, the Omaha World Herald. Well, Evan, we're not going to spend a lot of time, but when you look back, Nebraska football, the bowl game, what's your take on that game? I, as a fan, watched it going, all right, I feel like I know what's going to happen, but then I found myself getting sucked into it, getting mad about it. But from an optics, from a brand standpoint in Nebraska football, because obviously the portal opened up pretty quickly after that, did it mean anything on the way that game went down for Nebraska?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're right. Like the portal happens so quickly. It kind of reminds you of the Penn State game earlier this year when it was so quickly on to the next thing. In that case, the Iowa game, that you had no time to sort of reflect and process what happened. And so I think there is a little bit of that. But, you know, we knew kind of going in that Utah was going to be a bad matchup because what they did well, especially on offense, were things that Nebraska has done poorly and struggled to stop, from the quarterback run to physical lines to being disciplined in their gaps and what their assignments are. And so we saw that play out. I think, the thing that the game really reminded me of, it's not just a question of talent, although I do think Nebraska has a long way to go in that regard. I think it was also just, man, what's your identity? Like, what do you want to be? And you got to remember, like, Utah was replacing its head coach of 20 plus years and had coaching uncertainties behind the scene. They had their best two O linemen and D linemen opt out. And you know what they did? They went out and they did what they do. Like, they went out and they ran their offense, and they were physical, and they did all the things that Nebraska has been aspiring to and fallen short of for a long time. And so we saw that again. Like, Utah had a similar opt-out situation to Nebraska. You wouldn't have known it from a game like that. So I think that's probably the thing that I point to, and it's just like, man, what offensively, what does Nebraska want to be moving forward? What kind of quarterback does it want to have? What kind of do you want to be a spread? Do you want to be a pro style? Like, what do you want to be all about? I don't know that Nebraska knows, but we just saw in Utah, like, the value of knowing and the value of having a DNA and a system that you fall back on. So I just think it's a reminder that Nebraska's got work to do. Matt Rule said it afterward. It's going to be about the portal, but it's also going to be about, especially on defense, you're resetting with a new defensive coordinator. What do you want to be about? I think that's a big question Nebraska's got to have moving forward.
And as you look at some of the targets, it almost feels like there's an idea of what the new identity of Nebraska could be. Obviously, quarterback Minchie, a bit more of a running threat. You're looking at some big offensive linemen that are being brought in, at least on visits here in the portal, which kind of reminds me, not to go 100% like for like, but closer to the Pelini offense, where you have a running threat at quarterback. You're going to run the ball a lot, some bigger bodied wide receivers. Defensively, you're seeing big interior defensive linemen on campus, some more athletic edge rushers. We'll see what they do at the safety spot, but it almost does feel like they're kind of rebranding themselves to be closer to what Nebraska was under Bo Pelini. And that's not a perfect comparison, but that's just kind of the feel I get early in some of the portal targets that we have reported out there.
Yeah, I think you see some trends there. Certainly the quarterback spot, they want to be more mobile. Dana Holgerson and Matt Rule have not been shy about saying that's an element of the offense that's been missing and something that they'd like to have. They haven't defensively this year. They didn't really have like that massive space-eating defensive lineman. And Ty Robinson was sort of that a couple of years ago, but I'm thinking of guys like Damian Daniels or Darian Daniels or just some of the real space eaters.
Vincent Valentine.
Yeah. If you go back to the Pelini era, sure. So like guys like that, it does feel like they're at least targeting and kicking the tires on to see if maybe they can add offensive line. They're going to need some depth, clearly. Like you lose Rocco Spindler and they've lost a number of younger guys. You're making the change at position coach. And I was struck by Matt Rule's post-game comments from Vegas about Turner Corcoran being out there really on one good leg. And the first thing that occurs to me is like, why does it have to be him? Like, why not turn to a younger guy who's been developing for 2 or 3 years? Like, this feels like maybe that would have been that chance. So I think that tells you a lot about how they view their depth and their potential at that spot right now. So yeah, that's clearly been a priority. And I think probably anyone that watched the Vegas Bowl came away saying, it wouldn't hurt to have another veteran or two in the secondary as well. Not to say that those younger guys that played can't be good players, because I think they can, but I mean, they're going to be learning on the fly, and you're going to want somebody back there that's been through the fire a little bit. So you're seeing a few offers out to some older DBs as well, but the list is long, man. They have work to do. They've got the quarterback. There's a lot still to do here in the next couple of weeks before you got to be enrolled in classes at Nebraska. So we'll see where it goes, but yeah, hopefully there's a little bit more insight gained maybe by some of not just the guys that they're offering, but obviously the guys that end up committing here in the next few weeks.
based on your own view of the roster, Evan, and some of the targets we're hearing about early in the transfer portal, what positions do you think are pretty close to set for next year? The types of positions where Nebraska feels good about what they have? Because I feel like there's more positions that they need additions than there are positions they feel safe about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's right. I mean, they haven't, to my knowledge, they haven't offered a tight end yet. So that's a spot, I suppose, where you feel like they have a little bit of depth. And, Mac Markway was a guy who was hurt this year, and they were high on what his potential could be. So they're feeling, I guess, all right there. Man, I mean, I guess corner, like you got your 2 starting corners back at this point. So there's not a ton of urgency there, but I mean, they're going after high-end linebackers, defensive linemen, safeties, offensive linemen. They're at least showing interest in the running back position, though I don't believe they've had any visitors lined up, at least known ones there. So maybe that's another one that they're a little limited on. I still think they're going to get another quarterback. Receiver, they've offered the guy from UCLA who's coming in, Gilmer, who's pretty good. I think they'll probably be pretty selective with that position, maybe more. But I mean, quite honestly, they're kicking the tires on just about every spot outside of tight end at this point. And that was a position that sort of faded down the stretch and certainly it didn't appear to have the dudes that Utah had there as well. So, maybe specialists, I guess you feel you signed a high school kicker, you bring back Kyle Cunanan. So some of your specialists, I suppose, are in decent spots too, but pretty much across the board, man, if you can find some upgrade in talent, I think Nebraska is not going to be shy about bringing them in and seeing where they are just in terms of rev share and what kind of number they're looking for.
Again, it's Evan Blaine with us from the Omaha World-Herald, and Evan will switch the conversation from football to basketball as Nebraska basketball moves themselves into the top 10 after getting a top 10 win. What are your initial thoughts on the game Friday night, just the environment overall, the opportunity Nebraska had that night, and just the game in general and how much of a rock fight it was?
I mean, I think it was beautiful in the eyes of anybody who was at PBA that night. I was watching on TV, but like the atmosphere, you could just tell, and from talking to people that were there too, like it was right up there with No Sit Sunday from way back when, just in terms of anticipation and electricity and obviously when you win it, like that's going to be a game that people are going to remember for a long time. And so Nebraska's had a few of these games now, right, where it's sort of the heat check, so to speak, on like how good is this team. And they had it against Illinois, and they had it against Creighton before that. And this was another one where, I mean, you look at Michigan State this year, and obviously just their history as a program and what they've done. You say, okay, I mean, they were a legitimate top 10 team coming to Lincoln. Like, how real is Nebraska? And they showed they have the ability to hang, even when they're not splashing threes left and right. Like, I'm continually impressed with their level of defensive urgency and how they rotate. I mean, there were so many moments where, Michigan State wanted to drive and another Husker defender came over to help, or a Spartan wanted to shoot from the outside and somebody closed out strong. Like that's where culture shows up. That's not necessarily 4-star, 5-star talent type stuff. That's coaching. That's guys buying into a system. Like we're talking about identity with football earlier. Like Nebraska basketball has an identity. Like that defense is going to travel. They're going to shoot threes. Different players are going to get hot at different times. We've seen it from a number of guys. Rink Mast had his moments. We've seen it from Price Sanford at different times and some others. So it's such a fun team to watch. And then, they were able to close out too. Like Michigan State made their run toward the end, and Nebraska didn't fade. They didn't fold. And in the moment, they were able to rally back and make a couple big shots of their own and get a stop. And so, yeah, I mean, it's uncharted territory really for where they are now. And you go to Ohio State, and that's been a place they've struggled, but just another heat check. And it's incredibly impressive to see the season they've put together. And it's going to be fun to see how high they can go.
Well, Evan, let's talk more about that, because you mentioned some words that we've been conditioned as of lately with rev share and NIL that don't make a difference, and that's culture. That's the way that Fred and staff have put this team together. But doing that, because we're taught right now that it should be like Kentucky and spend $20 million on a roster, but we all know Nebraska doesn't have those funds. But what does that mean for a brand like Nebraska, showing maybe a roadmap of way they've got it done and the continued success that they could have doing it this way?
Yeah, I mean, the money helps, but there are a lot of other components. It's identifying guys that you feel like can fit in your system. It's having a system in the first place that you're working toward, and it's developing those guys as well. Like, it's not just basketball. Like, look at Indiana and just some of the recruiting classes that they put together. Like, they're doing all right now in the portal, but the last couple of cycles they've had to do it through evaluation and development. And so I think Nebraska's done a good example of that. I think anecdotally, like when you read some reports and hear some things, like Nebraska's probably on the lower, the bottom 25%, maybe the bottom third of the Big Ten in like NIL or rev share money, just the budget that they have for their roster. But like, guys know their roles. Sam Hoiberg doesn't care if he scores 30 points or if he's distributing or if he's playing gritty defense. Like, they have a lot of guys like that. Cal Jacobson's come on. Garcia's had his moments too, where he comes off the bench and contributes. He's a transfer that was pretty, relatively unheralded coming in. So like, coaching still matters. Culture still matters. System development, all that stuff still matters. Now, yeah, do you want the top of the cream of the crop in every portal cycle? Sure. But I think in some ways, those other things are more valuable now where you have so many teams coming together, based on talent, because that's what you can get and what you can buy. And I think it almost becomes more of the outlier now when you have a team that's cohesive and knows what it's about, and guys are content in their roles, and not just content, but like loving their roles. Like, it feels like there's a joy that they have and that they're playing with right now that you don't see even from maybe more talented teams elsewhere. So it's a major credit to Fred Hoiberg and that coaching staff and just the way that they were able to evaluate and develop the guys to this point.
Evan Bland with us here from the Omaha World Herald. And Evan, before we get you out, really appreciate your time here on a Monday. I do want to get your thoughts. What would, top 10 Nebraska mean to you? What would it mean to the fan base? What would it mean to the program? I mean, we're awaiting the AP top 25 poll, and we'll see what it looks like when it does come out a little bit later today. But just what would that mean? Would it mean anything? Or is the only thing that matters getting a win in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think internally, obviously their goals are what they are, but to the fans, absolutely. And like, that's why to me, like, the whole court storming talk was such an interesting moment in time, because the team genuinely believes like this is where they should be. And they don't have the baggage of the last, 50 years of program history, but like the fans did. And so that's why to me, I had no problem with the fans going out and celebrating the moment, because I mean, they've suffered through a lot of mediocre basketball through the years. And so, yeah, like you're seeing a more level playing field in other sports. I keep going back to Indiana football, but if Indiana football can be a Final Four college football team, Nebraska basketball can do things that it hasn't done before too. And that's where they are right now. It does. It's a moment. It allows, like, it's a celebration moment for fans. It sort of just allows you to imagine what could be. It's the glass ceiling for this program forever has been winning an NCAA tournament game. Well, now, if you're ahead of some blue bloods like North Carolina or Kentucky or whomever, that just is another reminder of, like, why not Nebraska basketball? Just because it hasn't ever happened, why can't it happen? We see other programs make runs in the NCAA tournament all the time. And so you've had a lot of long-suffering Nebraska ball fans go to games at Devaney and go to games at PBA, and like, this is their time, man. It's fun to see, and you do hope that it translates into that moment at the end where you can get that monkey off your back and you can have that celebration. And it appears to be heading that direction, but hopefully people can enjoy the ride here for another couple months before the moment of truth arrives in March.
Evan, just one more before we get you out of here. We forgot to mention that the basketball team does have a game tonight, and it is a tough spot for him to go on the road after a big emotional win at home. But we kind of get the sense that this team is, they have veteran leadership and they're kind of built for the moment. How are you feeling about the team going out tonight to Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like I mentioned earlier, Ohio State's been a tough place for them to play, even when the Buckeyes haven't been great necessarily. So, going on the road and winning in the Big Ten is hard to do. And so it feels like another sort of validation opportunity for Nebraska. I think they're to the point now where, like, it's not just a cute hot streak. Like, they've beaten legitimate opponents now. A number of them, like their resume continues to improve. So I kind of feel like we're starting to transition the conversation away from like, whoa, this is kind of novel, to like, how good can this team actually be? Like, they can be legitimate contenders in the Big Ten, and they can, have a high seed in the NCAA tournament. So I think it helps to have older players. That's an advantage that they have right now when you're playing with 22 and 23-year-old men as opposed to freshmen or underclassmen. So you have that going for you. And again, I think the defensive part that's more based on effort and system and identity than it is like, hey, you're having a good night shooting from the field. So I think in that way, Nebraska continues to be consistent, can be consistent out in Columbus, and so I would expect another competitive game out there, and if they're shooting well and somebody catches fire, as we've seen in the past, they have every chance, every opportunity to come out on top yet again.
Again, Evan, thanks for hanging out with us on a Monday. Happy New Year again, and also, hey, have a fantastic birthday, my friend.
I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. I think we're outside the Larry David approved window for that, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Happy New Year.
I love it. Thanks, Evan. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, guys.
Evan Blaine, My Word Herald. Always good stuff with Evan. And the special one's his birthday. How cool was that?
Big 4-0.
Big 4-0. I can think back to mine. We'll tell us. Yeah, boy. I'll always remember mine. I'll tell you when I come back. I tell it now. I don't want to tell it. My 40th birthday. So let me think back. That was 8 years ago. So think about the timing of this.
I think I've heard this story before.
Remember this one?
Man.
The day that Scott Frost got hired?
Yeah.
That was your 40th?
I had to come in the next day and do radio.
Uh-huh.
I sat in that chair. My co-host had to come pick me up. I was not in a good spot. I was still not.
Really?
I had to, yes, got picked up. I think my birthday was on a Friday night. When it was on a Friday night. We partied on Friday night because of my 40th. And we had to do the show. We did a Saturday edition.
Because the hiring got announced that Saturday morning.
Yes. And so we came in for like 3 hours and got picked because I was responsible. Feeling great. Had to stop, got coffee and 3 bottles of coconut water because people kept telling me coconut water will get you.
Did it?
It did. That's about hour and a half in. Because I was told that I guess I repeated myself a few times. But we did it like 3 hours of Scott Frost. The best part of that day was like as soon as Scott went on the podium, the mic cut off, and I literally went. And we weren't streaming back then.
No.
We weren't streaming then. So that was
you're like a Jimmy Butler in the bubble.
Yeah, I remember my 40th birthday very well. I'm like, I have to get up. What? Never liked the guy from then. Just kidding.
It was doomed to fail from that point on.
Yeah.
No team in the history of the NFL has gone a full season without getting 1 interception on defense, except for the New York Jets this year.
Well, doesn't that seem like that's impossible?
Not 1 interception.
That's impossible.
The last time that happened is the modern era. I think it went back to 1938 on that stat, which is incredible because the passing leader in 1938 had less than 1,000 yards on the season, and teams were still getting interceptions.
I just didn't.
Aaron Glenn. What a coach.
How's he still there? I think it's crazy when that Morris, they knew they were firing him. He did his post-game press conference. He hugged the owner. And then like hours later,
please. That was a hug of please. For everything I've been.
Come on, man. Like he hugged everybody on the way out. Welcome back to the Morning Hookup. Special thanks to Evan Blank of My World Herald. Happy 40th birthday. You guys hope, you all. Hope you get the chance to experience the 40th. Oh, yeah. I just told mine. I remember it very well. No, I remember the next day. Friday night. I know where I started before I woke up at. What I had to do the next morning was on the air for 3 hours. That, then, new head coach Scott Frost. I remember that. Yeah. Coconut water, baby. 3 bottles of it in 3 hours.
So my birthday's coming up here in a couple of months. I still got 13 years for my 40th.
My gosh. I have kids older than that.
I know.
2 of them.
I got 16 years.
That's ridiculous. Let's
think about how much life we still have in front of us.
Let's live it to the fullest, boys.
We have tons of life in
You know
front of us.
what?
Hooksy, not so much. We have tons of life ahead
You
of
know
us.
what just resonated with me? I just thought about this, and this happened before we went. This happened at like 8:50 this morning, 8:55. Elijah walked in, and I think this was an old man joke, and I just now got it. Not even a joke. And he left, and I was down over there, and I plugged his computer in. So I'm like, did your knees hurt? What? I just got low key like old man talk.
Yeah, it was 100%.
Wow. It took me 2 hours to figure that out.
The brain's still sharp, Hooksy. The knees might be rough, but the brain's still sharp. Only 2 hours to get that one.
Oh. All right. I'm scared.
I need to stop being such
I'm scared to ask this. I'm scared to ask this. All right, we're going to push the button for stories that we missed, right? Does it work? Or are we going to blow the system?
I think it'll work.
Here we go.
It does not work.
Oh, well, that one's gone.
I'm getting an error code.
Abort mission now.
Should we just make the sound effects ourselves?
Yeah.
The stories that we missed. The morning hookup.
A report out there. Now, you talked about Nebraska portal maybe adding a quarterback, and you mentioned the name in Chambliss, Trinidad Chambliss. It sounds like now the reporting, if he's granted that 6-year, he will be headed back to Ole Miss for his 6-year. He's planning to re-sign with the Rebels for the 26th season if his 6-year is granted.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah, we are. I love it.
Let's see what Trinidad Chambliss does here on out, because I said it and I told Caleb about this, and this was not like a 100% serious prediction for the college football playoff, but my prediction for the championship game from a fun point of view, I was like, if we're rooting for fun, which I'm rooting for fun, my prediction was Ole Miss and Indiana.
Oh gosh, let's go.
That's interesting because my national champion pick from a betting point of view is like, if I was a betting man and I was picking a national champion, I'd pick Oregon because I loved their path. Now we'll see. That matchup against Indiana looks tough, but they also beat the brakes off of Texas Tech. Texas Tech was, just absolutely held down the entire game. That was an impressive performance that we're not talking about enough from Oregon. I still like Oregon as a national champion pick, but from a fun point of view, Indiana versus Ole Miss would be so much fun.
I'd be all about it.
I'd love that.
We really didn't talk much about those matchups. Who do you guys like in Ole Miss and Miami? Because I really don't know.
I think Miami is the better team.
I think it'll be. It's essentially a home game for Miami too.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
And Miami's got, just dudes all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
But Ole Miss has a gamer at quarterback.
Chambliss is a dog, man. He played so good.
Sometimes it comes down to those types of players that make all the difference. You go back to the game against Georgia and the plays he made in that game. Actually, on both sides of the ball. But I'm with you. I feel like I think we kind of forget also because of the Miami struggles in the middle of the year. They were preseason, top 10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about a team that was built different. They're built. Their offensive line is big and tough. They run the football well. Carson Beck resurged in their defense. Their skill
That's
guys.
the difference. Is Ole Miss in terms of defense. Not a whole lot going on. Their defense is good enough, where Miami's defense is great.
Yeah, and again, I also want people to not get up and up, because Georgia's defense was not the typical Georgia defense we've seen. When you see the points that they gave up in the 39 points against Ole Miss, that is not typical. Miami has got look at what they've done the last 2 games. They held A&M, which has got a really good offense, to 3 points. They held Ohio State, which is probably above average offense with skill players, to 14 points. 17 points in 2 games.
I mean,
what about the other side?
I'm not sure. Ole Miss's offense is really tough to stop, though. They put up points on everybody. So I'm curious about that matchup on the other side. Indiana, Oregon, the rematch.
And honestly, let's be honest about the playoff itself. Outside of 2 games, this has not been a dynamic watching football playoff.
No.
Outside of 2 games, this has not been. The Georgia Ole Miss game probably ranks at the top. You can throw Alabama, Oklahoma up there. Everything else has kind of been unfortunate. There's been a lot of these top offenses, or led to believe, getting blanked in first halves.
Yeah.
This has been a defensive, but I think it changes this week. And again, I would not count out Oregon. I know earlier on you liked Oregon's path to success to get to the national championship, and we're talking about Miami's defense. Watch Oregon's defense.
Yeah.
That is
They're great.
something that was never on any bingo card in Dan Lanning, sorry. You always thought about Oregon in the offense. That defense is special.
Oh, and there's a Lincoln Southeast. Well, it's not a Lincoln Southeast grad, but a guy we watched play high school football in Lincoln, starting at defensive end, and Tatum Tuioti.
Your dad might have coached here a little bit.
Yeah, and he was a good player for Southeast. I didn't see this level of success for him.
He was dominant against Texas Tech.
Yeah, he was unreal. And
dominant.
And he played just down the street here at Seacrest Field.
And again, that's going back to that Oregon offense, that Oregon defense. Look what they blanked a top 10 offense of highly skilled dudes at Texas Tech.
I don't want to say I told you so, but I did see that one coming. I thought Oregon matched up really, really well with Tech. I don't love their matchup with Indiana, but I would not be surprised in the slightest if Oregon goes and beats Indiana.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, but we do have some breaking transfer portal news. Iowa State transfer offensive line Brendan Black has committed to Nebraska.
Okay. He was considering going off to South Carolina after he took a weekend visit here. And the rumor on the street yesterday afternoon was he may cancel that trip to South Carolina because he was impressed and appreciated his time in Lincoln. So we get the confirmation now. He's a big boy.
Yeah, looks like it by the picture.
There we go.
Guy
in the trenches.
Let me quickly pull up some numbers for you. I think he started the whole season for Iowa State, if I remember correctly. He is 320 pounds, 6'4" at the offensive guard spot. Started 10 games at right guard.
Hello.
Guard is a big position with Pritchett and Evans coming back. You have those 2 positions pretty much shored up, but
let's see.
You lose your guards.
He has made 30 starts in his career at Iowa State.
Big.
Yeah. That boy is a corn-fed offensive lineman if I've ever seen one.
Getting old quick, just like that.
Even though he is from Florida, he does not look like it.
No.
He looks like he is Midwestern through and through.
6'4", 36. Wow. I'm looking at him now.
Yeah, 30 starts, made 10 this year at right guard, 13 starts at right guard the previous year, and was a true freshman who started 7 games back in 2023.
Never come across a male he didn't like.
Yeah, that's a good addition for Nebraska. That would be your Rocco Spindler replacement.
Yep, good addition there. Getting big up front and getting old pretty quick. Let's see. Tomorrow, Robin Washit. No Brian Munson. He just texted me. No Brian Munson. But we have Robin Washit post Ohio State, Nebraska.
I'll be curious to see with Nebraska, potentially with a single-digit number. My prediction is that Nebraska will land right at number 10 in this week's poll.
You think?
I don't think they should. I think they should be higher, but my prediction with the AP is that they put Nebraska right at number 10.
What did that look like? I always tell the kids, I mean, obviously, here's the thing, and I agree. It's the brand Nebraska #1 that gets a hit, and also nobody's watching us. All these voters aren't watching, but I think they were watching Friday night.
And Friday night, I think AP voters sit back and say, good to get a win, but you're at home and you were the beneficiary of a team that turned the basketball over 19 times.
That's because your defense is that good.
I agree with you, but that's a game you probably lose on the road. So I think they'll make a jump. People will look at the undefeated record, and they'll also say, you know what? They're a good team. They're worthy of being top 10, but just barely.
But here's the hard part of this. You always have to look ahead. The voters, look ahead of what happened in front of you as well on how far you move. You got, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got Purdue, Gonzaga, Houston, Michigan State. Yeah. BYU still winning. Vandy's undefeated. Yeah, I think you're right. Number 10.
Right, number 10.
Tomorrow, Husker talk, basketball, hoops, more NFL, Robin Washington, a whole lot more. Have a great Monday. We'll catch you on a Tuesday.